Good evening. My name is Jennifer Preble. I am the Saco School Board Chair. I am calling this meeting to order at 7 p.m. this Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. Please note that School Board Member Archie is excused due to illness. Would you please kindly join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moving on to item 3 this evening. I have approval of school board meeting minutes dated August 23rd, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Chair Preble.
Oh, school board member Richards.
I move we approve the school board meeting minutes dated August 23rd, 2023.
Second.
All right. Okay, I have a first motion by school board member Richards with a second by school board member LaFortune. Any discussion regarding the meeting minutes? Seeing that there's no one seeking recognition, roll call vote. School board member Richards?
Yes.
I vote yes. School board member LaFortune?
Yes.
School board member Gale?
Yes.
School board member Truman?
Yes.
School board member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to item 4, which is adjustments to the agenda. Do we have any further adjustments this evening? Seeing that we have no further adjustments, moving on to item 5, which is correspondence. Do we have any correspondence received? All right. Since we have no correspondence, moving on to item 6, which is public session. Please feel free to come before the school board and state your name and address for the record and have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Holly Trottier, Saco Education Association. The Saco Education Association would like to thank the school board and administrators for a fun-filled, inspirational, honoring District Day on August 28th. Mr. Ray and Ms. Parkhurst shared lots of meaningful prizes and gifts, kept the energy high and excited, and helped staff feel celebrated to kick off this school year. We are grateful that our speaker came in person and validated the work that we do. Mr. Ray's comments about the upcoming building were succinct and informative, answering many staff questions. We are greatly appreciative for this opening day. Furthermore, the Saco Education Association would like to thank the Saco School Board and administrators for our collaborative work on the last teacher's contract. The staff are excited by many of the changes going forward, and we truly appreciate working together collaboratively for the same goals, specifically exciting, vibrant, rich environments for students to learn to their greatest potential. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else seeking recognition to come before the school board? All right, seeing I see no others coming forward for recognition, we will move on to item 7, Superintendent's Report. Superintendent Ray?
Good evening, everybody. As we've started up the first 2 weeks of school, if I had any musical talent and had the ability to write a song, I would write a country song called Heat to Hurricane, because I think that's what we would, I think that's what we'll probably, we dealt with the heat, and the hurricane may be what we deal with next week. But I do think it would make a great t-shirt. Certainly our schools will prepare for any fallout that we may have from high winds. I think if we remember, I believe we were about 6 falls ago when we had the October, 6 or 7 falls ago when we had the October hurricane, and actually we were pretty good here, but inland in certain parts of town, Dayton, power outages that were extended. We'll work with any of our city folks in Public Works and Rec to see what we need to do to make sure that schools are hopefully open and that we have power next week. if we have the ability to have power in all of our schools, we'll do everything we can to be open, because we know that certain parts of town could be in a different place than others, but that keeps kids fit, keeps kids fed, keeps kids in school. But let's hope for the best on that piece. We are, as we had talked about, we had kind of received some grants and some fundings to think about a joint kind of Director of Homeless ELL and opening a welcome center at Young School. We currently in the district have K through 12, 144 students that receive ML services, and about another 35, 9 through 12, for a total of 179. That's a pretty big change for us traditionally of what we had. But as we look at the challenges that some of our families have, that homeless population continues to rise, and we're upwards of 100 now throughout the district. While middle school athletics have started, unfortunately, they haven't had much weather and or ability to practice. So hopefully things will change and we'll be able to get kiddos out on the field and games playing. We are planning for early November a dedication for our outdoor classroom at Burns School. So we hope that you'll be able to attend, and we'll get confirmation out to you once that has finished. We have a scheduled joint meeting for Monday night at 6:30 with the City Council. We have invited Oak Point to that, where that will be more updates on our building construction project. And then finally, we welcomed our new facilities director, Gary Koneski, to the team this week. Gary's around the district learning about all things Saco and where we're at. And we'll be diving into a lot of the projects that we are in the middle of right now. And that will be a sharp learning curve, like anybody, especially when you're in the middle of some construction projects. That's always fun. That's all for tonight, as we will be having our principals present, giving some staff opening reports.
All right. Moving on to item 8. Oh, I'm sorry. Did any members have questions for Superintendent Ray? Okay, going back to item 8, Chair's Report. I have no major updates this evening, so we can move right on to item 9, which is staff reports, which is principal opening reports. So I believe, according to my list, Wendy LeBlanc is up for Fairfield School.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Wendy LeBlanc, principal at Fairfield School, and I'm excited for this opportunity to talk with you about our opening few days. Our staff, I think, despite the heat, we embraced the crucial days of students coming into our buildings, and they just really work well as a team. I feel the more I get to know them, the more honored I am to work with them. So a big thank you to them. Last year, we changed up our dismissal procedure at Fairfield School, and we've gotten it down to just under 15 minutes to dismiss the entire school. That's taken a lot of support and hard work from transportation and our crossing guards. I feel like with them is why it runs so smoothly and safely. So a really big thank you to them. Every day the buses come in a certain line, and it is a well-oiled procedure at this point, so thank you to them. At Fairfield and at Young School, as many of you know, we start with first and second graders first, which gives us the opportunity to really practice and set up some of the routines in our school, get things running nice and smooth before we welcome our kindergartners. This year, our kindergarten students, their first few days of school were very, very warm, and that's a long day for them. But as a school, we did a lot of popsicles and fans and dim lighting, and really there were more smiles than complaints, and so it was awesome to be able to create that learning environment in first few days as a school community, so I was grateful for that. One other thing I wanted to share, as a district, we had the opportunity to listen to a motivational speaker, Adam Peterson, as part of our opening days, and his slogan or saying is "Be the Yellow," which is just kind of being the sunshine and support in people's day. From me, as an administrator and as a person, I really took from that the importance of building a sense of belonging for people. His push was really for our students, and we absolutely do that, and you can see that at Fairfield for sure. I also believe that means for our staff to feel like they belong there, and our families to know that they belong at our schools as well. And so this year, moving forward, we're really going to do some more learning and implementation of some of his resources. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Janae Walker, pre-K.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Walker, and I'm the coordinator for Saco's pre-K program. Our pre-K program is off to a great start this year. I'm pleased to report that we have had a significant increase in our enrollment numbers, a feat that was made possible through a combination of reconfiguring our half-day placements model and through the collaborative efforts of the Old Orchard Beach School District. Over the past few years, our district has faced the challenge of accommodating the growing demand for pre-K education. As I'm sure you are all aware, early childhood education plays a pivotal role in a child's development, and ensuring access to a high-quality pre-K program is crucial. However, it has been a daunting task to meet this demand within our district's current resources and infrastructure. The reconfiguring of our half-day placements model allowed us to add 8 more enrollment spots to our roster. With the 5 students we were able to place in Old Orchard Beach, we were able to place a total of 17 more students this year than during the 22-23 school year. Of the 11 students who remain on our wait list, more than 70% were at least offered a half-day enrollment spot. We were able to offer a full-time spot in Old Orchard Beach to almost 90% of the 8 students who are currently enrolled in a half-time placement, but remain on the wait list for a full-time spot. While the Old Orchard Beach spots were not optimal for all of those families, we were at least able to provide an option to those families waiting for a full-time spot. The special education teacher that was placed with us during the 22-23 school year has had a dramatic positive impact on our students' success. I'm happy to report that our communication with CDS is much improved, and the model in which district employees are able to bill through CDS to provide special education services to our students has resulted in much more streamlined and consistent services to our young learners. Our increased enrollment numbers are a testament to the amazing pre-K program that this district has built in just 5 short years. I thank you not only for your time tonight, but also for the commitment you have made as a board in providing a high-quality early education to our youngest learners. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is Jeff Mears, Young School.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to say we had a great start to the year. We had 400 to 500 people show up at Young School on August 24th for our open house and our popsicles in the park. It was super fun, and the energy was great, and the teachers were well prepared, and we did have AC, so we were pretty comfortable, just saying. I'd also like to, I gave you guys this vision and mission. This is something I'm really proud of, our staff and some parents and a few community members. I wish I had some more community members. We worked on our vision and mission statement, and this is something I'm really proud of. We are making all of our decisions, and we funnel through this vision and mission, and it certainly falls under the umbrella of Saco Schools, and I'm trying to prepare our staff to really think about the future and have some of our DNA come into these new buildings, and I think this is part of that process. We welcome 314 students, and we have a lot of K students, so we have a lot of new faces we're getting to know, but they're excited to be there, and the families, we're just welcoming them and having a good time with them. I'm really proud of our staff, I just see everyone rally around each other. And whether it's we're short on duty or we need help, with kindergarten, breakfast, or lunch, people jump in and help. They don't ask questions, they jump in and help. And I'm really proud of our special ed staff, who we're a little short in our COAST program, but our ed techs rally around each other, and I'm super proud of them on how they step up and they get it done, and they get it done really well, and I'm proud of that. I also want to thank, lastly, the kitchen staff. They have just done a great job preparing breakfast. We have a lot of kids who have, some allergies, and also we've had to make some adjustments where we're eating in the classroom, not in the cafeteria, and they jumped on it. We even changed the schedule a little bit, and they were like, no problem. So I'm just really, it's an honor to serve at Young School, so thank you so much.
Thank you. And up next is Assistant Principal, Mr. Thomas Partridge for Burns School.
Thank you, everybody. First off, just wanted to give a shout out to the custodians who worked all summer through the rain and humidity to ensure that all the rooms were cleaned, the furniture is moved, and the shelves are hung. There was one point in late August, it was torrential downpour and 2 pallets of math books was delivered, and a custodian jumped out and he was able to move 2 pallets on his own in the rain. So we really appreciate everything that the custodians do every summer. We welcomed 601 students into the building on the first day of school. One of the things that we do is reestablish a lot of the school-wide norms in the hallways and in the cafeteria. It was newly painted with some sound panels. So they spent a lot of time in the classrooms developing what quality expectations in the cafeteria would look like. Talking to some teachers about the new sound panels, one teacher noted she's above the cafeteria, and she said her entire career she's had to listen to the noise coming out of the cafeteria during lunchtime, and she can't hear that anymore. So we really appreciate the renovations that happened in the cafeteria. Wanted to give a shout out to the PTO. They worked in collaboration with Parks and Rec, who installed permanent basketball hoops outside CK Burns. It's pretty nice out there now. I leave work in the evening and I see, athletes out there shooting hoops and kids just practicing with their parents. So it's a really nice scene behind CK Burns now, having those nice basketball hoops. The PTO also got us some new soccer nets, and they got playground balls and a cart to keep everything. So the kids really appreciate everything that our PTO has done to help our building out. We also have a new camera system to help with security. We appreciate that. There's new Wi-Fi routers outside too. The Wi-Fi came in huge during the heat wave. A lot of classes had to go outside, and they were able to utilize Wi-Fi outside. Before those new Wi-Fi routers were installed, Wi-Fi probably lasted maybe 10 feet beyond the building, so now it extends about 30, 45 feet, so they really appreciate having that, and we appreciate it too. And last is we're awaiting an update from the State Department regarding Title I grant to turn status to a full-time Title I school where we benefit from additional funds to support interventions. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Moving on to Marie Susi for Saco Middle School.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I would like to start off by acknowledging our central office staff and our administrative assistants who work during the summer and help keep things moving forward and ensure that they're ready, that we are all ready for the opening of schools. We could definitely not do it without them, especially given all the new registrations that we've had this summer. We have had all kinds of exciting updates and positive changes at Saco Middle School. We've had quite a few building updates. The gymnasium is in process of being updated. Currently, we have new backboards, a separation curtain, and some new nets, and we are awaiting the new bleachers, and a scoreboard. There was more work done on the roof, and all exterior doors are replaced, so soon it will look good as new. A few of the highlights from the beginning of the school year include an updated cafeteria, library, and the addition of recess. To date, most of the library furniture has been installed and books are being reshelved. It will be open to students next week with further finishes coming in the following few weeks. Our cafeteria furniture now provides students with options in the form of booths, high-top tables, circular and rectangular tables. We've quickly noticed the change in the cafeteria, noise, and behavior of the students. Just being given an option of seating choices makes quite a difference. We are now composting as an entire school. So last year, our 6th grade project-based team brought composting to SMS. The students informed their peers as part of their project, and 6th graders began composting mid-year. At this point, we're happy to report that the entire student body, through the support of grant money, has been composting. And last but not least, recess has been a huge success. So students have recess for 25 minutes in the middle of the day, and they report enjoying being able to see their friends on other teams that they don't get to see throughout the day, and getting some downtime to just decompress and have a break midday. I would like to thank the PTO, who also provided us with a cart of equipment, and the Saco Parks and Rec, who generously installed hoops for us as well. And just a final shout out to all our staff working through, as Superintendent Rice said, the weather changes in the last few weeks, especially our athletics director, Mike Tatro, and his staff trying to provide students and teams a chance to get going even throughout all the weather changes. So thank you to all of them, and thank you to you.
All right, thank you. Do any school board members have any questions for the group of principals this evening? School board member Truman?
I just want to say how excited I am for the middle school kids getting to have recess, because I know they're still in that age that they still need to move around, and I do remember it being kind of a bummer for my oldest when they couldn't see their friends who were on different teams, so that's nice that they'll be able to do that now. So small things that make a big change.
School board member Johnston?
I would just like to say that I'm excited about the composting. I'm very excited about the composting, but I'm also very happy to hear that there seems to be sort of a calmer environment in the cafeteria, and I'm excited about pretty much everything that I've heard tonight, so thank you all for that.
School board member Gale?
Yeah, just following up on that, I mean, I think it's a great testament to everybody's leadership there, that we just heard all those great initiatives and exciting things that are coming. Great job to the staff and the teachers for pulling off another successful start of the school year, and just excited to see more stuff coming out for the rest of the school year. So congratulations on a successful start.
All right. Any other comments or questions? All right. Moving on to item 10, board subcommittee meeting minutes. Policy and Personnel Committee meeting was this past evening at 5:30 p.m. Finance and Infrastructure Committee, our next meeting is September 23rd at 4:30 p.m. And a curriculum committee is going to meet next on 9/25 at 4:30 p.m. Any questions or concerns about that from the board? All right, moving on to our next item, which is item 11, old business. I see none noted. So moving on to item 12, which is new business. Item A, new hires. Superintendent Ray? We have a memo in our packet with a select few for new hires, and it looks like there's a couple motions, if I'm correct. School board member Truman?
I move we approve the nomination of Sarah Wiley, resource room teacher, Renee Kazan, social worker, Carrie Stearns, ML teacher, and April Jo Cook, ML teacher, and issue a contract for the 2023-2024 school year.
I have a motion from school board member Truman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by school board member Richards. Any discussion?
I just want to say I apologize if I butchered anybody's names.
All right. Roll call vote. School board member Richards?
Yes.
I vote yes. School board member LaFortune?
Yes.
School board member Gale?
Yes.
School board member Truman?
Yes.
School board member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. And I think there may be another motion up in this section. School board member Truman?
I move we approve the stipend nomination of Emily Havlena, CK Burns cross-country coach, and Megan Orlandella, SMS drama instructor, and issue a stipend contract for the 2023-2024 school year.
There's been a motion by School Board Member Truman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by School Board Member LaFortune. Any discussion? Roll call vote. School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
I vote yes. School Board Member LaFortune?
Yes.
School Board Member Gale?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. All right. Moving on to item B, resignations. There's a memo in your packet. Superintendent Ray, do we need a motion on that this evening? Sure.
I don't think there was any.
I don't believe we do. I think there's no
Okay.
motion.
Okay, all right. Seeing that we have no need for a motion, there is a memo in your packets that is accessible online to view that. Moving on to item C, which is a school construction update. Superintendent Ray?
All right, just a couple of things, school construction-wise. As you know, we have the joint meeting with the city council on Monday night, and we are hoping to have Oak Point there so we can talk school construction. The biggest meeting that we have upcoming is on the 19th, correct, Meg? The 19th is a meeting with the Department of Transportation, which will be about traffic flow in the intersection on Route 1 and the drive in and out. That is the piece that is holding things where they're at. So that's an important meeting for us. So hopefully we can start to get some approvals so that we can think about, hopefully in October, having that straw poll meeting, and then our plan would be for site approval to make the November agenda for the State Board of Education. But it is all hinging on finalization of the traffic and DOT planning. So any of that piece I missed, Meg? Yep.
We did get from Oak Point late this afternoon a copy of the site application packet that goes to the DOE, so that's really exciting. It means we at least have something in writing as a result of the Department of Transportation's work to provide to the state. And on a second note, this afternoon, Oak Point and I had the opportunity to present to our full pre-K through 5 staff and give them an opportunity to kind of see a lot of what our public meetings have provided, but isn't always provided time in the school day for staff members to come up to speed. So we were able to share a lot of the progress that's been made with staff, as well as provide a good opportunity for questions and answers, which will help us in our continued design and planning.
All right.
Just on a couple of other school construction things, as Principal Susie said, the work in the gymnasium is now just basically waiting for bleachers to come in and to install the scoreboard. We did have a new refrigerator unit through food service installed at the middle school. And one of the things that needs to be on our radar screen is the amount of electrical capacity in that building. It is not a building that has a lot of extra capacity in the panel box, and it's something that we're going to need to have on our radar screen for an upgrade in the near future. I know that having a conversation with Marie, just if you kind of run a couple of microwaves in the cafeteria at the same time, it doesn't work out for us. And so that's going to have to be a project that is probably pressing in the next budget cycle or so, is to think about that electrical service. My understanding is it's a pretty long-standing issue that's been there, and buildings that were built a while ago just don't have the capacity for what we have today. So just know that that's out there dangling too for us.
All right. Any questions from the board for Superintendent Ray? School Board Member Gale.
Quick question on two questions. The presentation that we had last well, I was gone the last school board meeting, but the new school construction presentation from 2 school board meetings ago that we had. I remember, I think there was a discussion that the layout and some of the things can change a little bit from now to the final design. But is there, I didn't see that that was available publicly, or the link made live to that. Is that something that we can post on there or ahead of the 18th, the meeting on the 18th, or will the 18th have an updated presentation?
My guess is that things have probably even changed since that point.
Is that one? Okay.
And I would also guess that probably there will be some changes based after the meeting with the Department of Transportation, based off roadways. You know, if they make a change out at the roadway, that might make a change to something with the drive-in. But we can talk to Rob tomorrow and see if we can get that for Monday night.
Okay. And then I guess just, can you remind me what the high-level schedule is to get it actually on the ballot, assuming that this meeting with DOT goes well and we can move forward and the DOE it's on the ballot, I guess, on the DOE you said in November, so.
So there's two parts to the DOE piece. First would be once the application, the site application is done and we have approval from all of the transportation aspects of it, then you go to the State Board of Education. The State Board of Education, our hope would be for a November approval process. Then there is, the next piece of it is concept, which is the design portion of the facility, which would be talking about square footage and those types of things. It doesn't mean that you're like 100% locked in that, you know, this cubicle is going to be in that place or that bathroom's there, but you're really looking at the overall square footage and, you know, initial design piece. I think our goal would then be hopefully December, but if not January, with, you know, work with the city council that we'll discuss on Monday night. The ultimate goal would be able to have a referendum sometime in the early spring. People would say, well, okay, you're having an election in June, why wouldn't you target that date? But the biggest issue is that by moving it back to that, even losing that 3 months, it could affect construction by up to a half a year because of the way things are bid, budgeted, and start date, so that it takes about a year to go out to bid from that point in time after the election through the design process. And so you're really pushing back and losing a summer season if you don't.
Okay, so around March of 2024-ish?
That would be the ideal.
The ideal,
That's
yeah.
that's the goal.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Any other question for Superintendent Ray? All right, moving on to item D, which is student enrollment. Superintendent Ray?
Okay, in your packet, there is our student enrollment counts that have been updated today based off information. Certainly you have kids who will come and go in the first couple of weeks of school. We have 1,924 students, pre-K through 8, and you can see the corresponding grades and class sizes. And then we received our information, our first spreadsheet that we'll go through with Thornton Academy from Marcia Snyder the other day, and it looks like today's number would be 870 students at Thornton Academy. Below you can see our ML families and our counts for those of 144 pre-K through 8 and 35 9 through 12.
All right. Any questions from the board for Superintendent Ray? School Board Member Gale.
I guess thinking about last year, I mean, is Is there discussions with Catholic Charities continuing with welcoming new folks into Saco, or how do we see that?
I mean, I think that, again, some of our enrollment for much of an increase is that housing has to be available, and that becomes part of our challenge when we deal with our homeless population, and for people who just may be looking to move, whether it's into the city or within the city. Those are sometimes some challenges. It's just finding houses. We continue to work with Catholic Charities on a regular basis and have great communication with them, from, you know, the little things that pop up to the bigger things that pop up. Jeff and his team, I know, has done some work on trying to make sure that some of our students have access to after-school activities. That's a big one. Making sure that kids, whether it can join the soccer team, or making sure that kiddos at Burns have the ability to stay for the cross-country. I think, Tom, my last update is that you have about 140 kiddos. Great. 160 kiddos will be running elementary cross-country. So probably see another coach come your way on that one. But we are working with them and trying to take steps as a school department to make sure that involvement level is high. I know a couple of Friday nights ago, the Bedford Saco Rotary Club did a movie night at the hotel, and so just a lot of positive things that go on there.
Any other questions for Superintendent Ray? All right. Moving on to item E, which is first reading of policies. I have to strike. Policy GCD-R, recruiting, hiring, and employment change procedures. Policy IHCDA, post-secondary enrollment options. And policy IJOC-E1, school volunteer requisition form. Registration, sorry. Do I have a motion for that this evening? School Board Member Johnston.
Thank you. I move we strike policies GCD-R, IHCDA, and IJOC-E1.
Second.
I have a motion by School Board Member Johnston with a second by School Board Member Truman. Any discussion on those policies? All right, seeing no one is seeking discussion, roll call vote. School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
I vote yes. School Board Member LaFortune?
Yes.
School Board Member Gale?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. All right. Moving on to item F, second reading of policies. I have policy IHBEA, Program for Multilingual Learners. Policy IHBAK, Life-Sustaining Emergency Care. Policy IHBG, Homeschooling. Policy IHBGA, Homeschooling Participation in School Programs. Do I have a motion for that this evening? School Board Member Johnston?
Thank you. I move we approve the first reading. No, the second reading. Sorry. This, I believe, is the second reading. Am I correct on this here?
According to what I see on the agenda, School Board Member Johnston, yes, it's the second reading.
Okay, because I'm seeing it in written two different ways.
Yep, I see that as well.
Okay. I move we approve the second reading of policies IHBEA, IHBAK, IHBG, and IHBGA.
Second.
I have a motion by School Board Member Johnston with a second by School Board Member Truman. Any discussion on the policies?
I just wanted to say we got confirmation from Assistant Superintendent Parkhurst that it's the second.
That is the second reading. Okay, thank you so much for the clarification.
And I just wanted to say, having read these things on numerous occasions, sometimes I lose track of where we are with them. But thank you very much for the clarification.
Thank you. All right. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote. School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
I vote yes. School Board Member LaFortune?
Yes.
School Board Member Gale?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
School Board Member Johnston? Motion passes 6-0. All right. Moving on to item 13, other information. Superintendent Ray, is there any other information this evening? All right. Since there isn't, we'll move on to item 14, executive session. I do not see one scheduled for this evening. All right. Moving on to item 15, which is adjournment.
So moved.
So moved by School Board Member Truman. Do I have,
Second.
with a second by School Board Member Richards? I'm going to assume no discussion regarding adjournment. Roll call vote. School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
I vote yes. School Board Member LaFortune?
Yes.
School Board Member Gale?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you so much and have a lovely evening, everyone.